Hi, I'm Shane Balkham, Client Investment Director at US Asset Management, and welcome to my 2-minute missive. We might be getting to the end of 2025, but we still have two key dates in the economic calendar. Next week, we have the US Federal Reserve's Open Market Committee, the FOMC, getting together to discuss the direction of interest rates. And we have the same for the Bank of England the week after next. So firstly, for the US and the FOMC meeting next week, it was likely a couple of weeks ago that there wasn't going to be a rate cut. We had the government shutdown that reopened, but with that brought issues with observable data on which to make a decision on whether to cut rates. So it was likely there was not going to be a rate cut. However, over the past couple of weeks, we've seen members of the FOMC lay the breadcrumbs, lay the path down for an expectation of rate cuts next week. Now, there are members there who would like higher rate cuts. However, I think Jerome Powell, being a more cautious individual, wanting to see that clarity of data, will probably go for a 0.25% rate cut. But that paves the way for higher rate cuts coming into 2026, especially after Jerome Powell steps down from his term as head of the Federal Reserve. Now, that probably means a sustained weaker US dollar, which then feeds into different asset classes. So something like emerging market debt does extremely well in that weaker dollar and has done well so far this year, and is a core component of our portfolios, proving that diversification over the long term is really advantageous and continues to be so. Close to the home for the UK, it's a toss of a coin whether the Bank of England cuts rates. We saw a fairly sanguine budget in the terms from Andrew Bailey, the head of the Bank of England, but he may just wish to push in a 0.25% cut to give a boost to the UK household owner, the UK mortgage owner, on that to help boost economic stimulus going into 2026. So, bit of a knife edge for both, but if I had to be pushed into corner, I'd say 0.25% rate cut from the Fed next week and a 0.25% rate cut from the Bank of England the week after. These views are my own. Before making any investment decisions, please speak to your financial planner. Thank you.